So the higher I go, the clearer the understanding, and the clearer the understanding, the more I'm able to articulate to you guys what I've started to what I've started to realize basically. So check this out. It's just like I'm sitting here today and I'm thinking about everything that I'm getting ready to release, everything that's being implemented. Why hasn't anyone tried to do it before? And it's just a matter of how much pressure are they willing to go through to get to the answers I got to, if that makes sense? And most of you guys know my mom's an undiagnosed schizophrenic, so my childhood was fucking insane. But we talk about that in a couple of the earlier videos. We'll talk more in the future about it, but this is not what that video is about. It's about how to think, if that makes sense. And because I had a different upbringing, it just made me more aware of my thought process, not only in the markets, but everything before the market, because how I articulate myself in the market is how I've been able to articulate myself long before I was trading, because I've always been like a aggressive compounder in life, because you'll start to understand that everything that has success is a compound. That's what everyone at the top understands. Everything is a compound. Fitness is a compound. Faith is a compound. The systems together is a compound. This market is a compound. And if we all understand that a penny compounded every single day is more than such amount of money, then why don't you implement that into your day-to-day life? And this is the thing, you're not implementing it into your day-to-day life because no one is are able to articulate that to you, that you got to be able to implement a compound into your day-to-day life. Everybody is basically teaching you how to trade, but they're not telling you how to think, and they're not telling you who you need to be able to sustain the success that you say you want from this market. You know what I'm talking about? Because right now, I'm doing the 100 to 100K account, well, 100 to 150K account challenge, right? And it's just like the more that I trade with you guys, win or lose, I understand my process. I understand how many successful students I have. I understand what my life has been over the last few years. So it's easier for me not to compromise with people when it comes to a bad season, when it comes to something not going my way. Lately, we've been having it to where things are actually starting to go our way. Like today, I mean, I'll show you in a little bit. But we're still doing the 100 to 150 account challenge. If you're in the signals, we're already trading together. So I say the account at the highest today profit. What was it? I think I saw that at 130 bucks. It was probably higher though. I had took a nap in Asia session and I just woke up crazy. Woke up at a crazy time. But the highest I seen it at was 130. We're in oil positions. We're in a little bit of everything, but oil positions is really holding the entire account together. But that's what I'm saying. As many losses as we took together the last few weeks, I've still been able to articulate that to you guys, because it's like I've never had a losing year, if that makes sense. So it's just like, even though things are a little rough this season, I think the PDT rule would be a fundamental event that really helps things come into play, that helps strengthen the buy bias towards assets, that helps us get to those higher highs. But you're only going to understand that if people are able to articulate, leaders are able to articulate the way that they're thinking, and then you also be able to follow their entries, just like I let you guys follow my entries, win or lose, because there is a certain mindset behind it that gets me my results and gets other people their results, if that makes sense. And because they're not able to articulate that it is a behavior, that is a habit that makes us successful, it is a mindset that makes us successful, there is a certain kind of person that you have to become in order to make this shit work long term, because it's just like it takes the same amount of time to make little money as it does big money, if that makes sense. So it's just like you're making a little bit of profit. We're making a little bit of profit because I understand that things are not happening to me. It's happening for me. So I got to be able to articulate that for you guys to understand also, as new traders, as intermediate traders, as experienced traders, especially if you want my results are good. You know what I'm talking about? That you gotta this is who you need to become. And I would say it's an industry problem, but I've also been teaching since 2019. That's when I made my first million, 2019, and I started trading in 2017. You know what I'm talking about? My learning process was 2 years. I always articulate that, but I never articulated the process I went through, the dumbing down of bills so that I could get more money, the going on food stamps or running. I needed to fucking eat. I couldn't afford to eat, so I needed the food stamps back in the day. But getting $500 worth of food stamps from the government means I had 500 extra dollars in my pocket to become, to learn how to fucking trade. I didn't know I was going to become a successful trader, but that is just an example of what I had to do, like years back in order to get to this level. But it's kind of like, and I'll make another video for you guys to go more into depth on this side. But as me as a business owner too, I run shit. What is it? I mean, Sniper Scope before I left last year was $1 million business, basically, if that makes sense. Then I have to let all that shit go. But it's like the trials and tribulations along the curve back as a person, just a regular ass person. I'm still a regular person. I just have a different mindset. Like, okay, business mindset that might go over y'all head a little bit. So let me think of this. It's this right here. Watch this. Oh my God. Hang on. It's right there. It's at the tip of my tongue. Is this mindset? It's me understanding that if I don't have time to work out, then I do not have time to eat bad either because the weight loss starts long before I enter a gym, if that makes sense. Because back when I was actually having personal trainers, I would still go to all my sessions, hated going to the sessions at 5 a.m. Y'all know me now. I wake up at fucking noon, 1 o'clock. Back in the day, I was waking up at 5 a.m., but I was still becoming who I needed to be. But now it's not a matter of me having to go outside my regular habits to become who I need to be because I've become that now. It's just my day to day now, if that makes sense. So I will wake up, go to the gym, do all that work, die, lay on the ground, be ready to pass out, and then go home and eat terribly, and then wonder why when I hopped on the scale, that bitch was not going down, it was going up. It's that kind of stuff that us as leaders got to be able to articulate because along the journey, like people that want my profits and you not even just a new trader but an experienced trader, there's going to be a part of the journey that I gotta be able to articulate to you that you need God in that part. You know what I'm talking about? Because say my friend that did the 300 million in 2024. The first month that me and him train together, I'm watching him. He do 500 to $1 million in 30 days. And then as the months pass, 6, 7, 8 months later, 9 months later, his account's at 300 million. But I remember specifically one night in particular to where it's like I disagreed with his bias, but there would be times to where he was right and I was wrong, and I was right and he was wrong, if that makes sense. But you gotta be able to develop solitude because if you think about it, and I can say this even as a signals provider, it helps looking at me enter the market because it should force you to look at TradingView and look at the charts as to when I'm entering. But how many of you have probably never thought about, hey, I'm watching her trade. We end the signals trading with her. Let me go to TradingView and see what her entry is so that it can help me kind of grow better, if that makes sense. Or if we take a loss together, why is she willing to take a loss with us? Why is she willing to put her account like on display and trade with the whole world? Entry, same lot sizes, at least for this challenge. You know what I'm talking about? Why is she willing to do that? She must know something that I maybe don't know yet. You know if that makes sense? So it's like I never care about a result. It's the process that matters to me that got me that result. And that is why I'm like the mountain. It's very hard to change my bias because I've had too much success in this. I've been doing it for damn near a decade. I got millionaire students, I got thousandaire students, I got hundredaire students, and I got students that don't do a fuck thing. But the common denominator between all these people around the world is me and the information that I give them. And then as I grow, because every single day it's a level of growing, I don't know well, I do know. Because the internet, I have you thinking, becoming a profitable trader is about just fly shit, going to the Bahamas, going overseas, and sports cars. And that was never what it was for me because my mama was fucking insane. I just wanted a level of stability and a strong foundation that I didn't have growing up. And it's just like I didn't know this is what it would have become of. I didn't know I would be free all this time, 7 years going into 8 years. And then my learning curve was only 2 years. Like my first trade I ever took was USD JPY. I can't remember if it was like a buy or a sell, but I remember I made $1,200 off of it in like 5 minutes. I put $800 in the account, though nobody was there to tell me that I could start with a small amount of money and flip it like that. But keep in mind too, they probably couldn't flip a small amount of money like that, so they wouldn't even know how to articulate that to me. That I don't have to put $800 into account to get the results of a $1,200 profit that I had. But either way, my first trade ever was USD JPY. I made $1,200 in profit in 5 minutes. Now 5 minutes fucking later, yeah, remember that $800 I put in the account? That was my half of the rent money because I had my baby daddy back in the day. We had just had Aubrey. What was it, 2018? I'm working at Brio Tuscan Grill, and Brio Tuscan Grill was crazy. I'm gonna tell you so many stories about Brio Tuscan Grill, but let me stay on topic because I can tell you 1,000 stories today. But I was working at Brio Tuscan Grill, and 800 was my half of the rent money, so it's fine. I'm a great server. I'm great talking to people. I just go back to work and get some money. But that was enough to open my mind that damn, that was the fastest I've ever seen $1,200 come to me, especially as a person that used to get evicted, that was on food stamps, that was on government assistance, that used to eat a cheeseburger a day because we couldn't afford to live because we needed more money to pay the rent because we kept getting motherfucking fired. That's what I'm talking about. People can't tell you that because somewhere along the path, I don't know. Y'all know I'm coming off a hard season because everything that happened with my mom, top of the year, right? And then everything that happened with Merrill Lynch last year and Stripe, same fucking month, damn near 30 days after that, domestic violence incident last summer. It was a lot of life shit going on, but it's like the process has always been there. And then, look, check this out. After everything I just named, even coming down to having to refund $80,000 last April, the process has always been there because people be thinking I'm a fucking dodo. I don't know fucking why. How am I a dodo and I do the impossible? I turn $100 into six fucking figures, seven figures, and I'm the dodo. It's because you don't like the messenger. So you end up missing the message. But the message is about the level of growth of I look like you have to become this person in order to be like me to live the life that I have because I'm free every day. And you might not see me throw my weight around. You might not shit. I might not look like who I say I am, but I've been free a long ass time. The numbers are there, but I feel like my mindset is I don't have to buy a sports car, no $200,000 car to prove it to you because I got three cars outside and I don't even drive them. You know what I'm talking about? That's how I think about it. And then as I don't know, like let's say the higher level without just becoming a profitable like becoming a profitable trader. Let's say you are past intermediate and you want to get to the expert level. It's a mattering of even though you good, you want to work every day to become the best. Even though you get in profit, even though I was getting profit, I'm want to study to a point to where I know people out here and making hundreds of thousands of dollars a day, hundreds of millions of dollars a day, $1 million a month, $1 million a day, $1 million a week, consistently. What is their mindset that's making them do it consistently that differs from mine, if that makes sense? And until I get that result, I always have work to do. But it's good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is the best. That's my mindset behind it. But my mindset back in the day, I used to rent apartments. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, I had no money. I couldn't get no house back in the day. I was broke. I was getting evicted from fucking apartments and I needed to live there. Right? And then as I started getting money and stuff like that, I was able to get personal houses. Then I was able to get into e-commerce and real estate on like single family homes, investments, thinking I'm going to do good in the world. But then I get fucked up over there. It's a matter of knowing how to be resilient and knowing how to overcome shit that don't go your way. You know what I'm talking about? It's like that. So it's just like my mindset now. Like I said, the higher I climb, the more I'm able to understand, and the better I understand, the better I'm able to articulate it. When it comes to the different ways of living back in the day, compared to the middle, to compared to where I am now, if you would have asked me back in the day if I was to get like a $10 million mansion, I personally would not because like not back in the day that aspect. Okay, let me separate the aspects. My back in the day aspect of get a couple million, buy a big ass crib, the Rick Ross crib, the Keisha Cole crib, then the celebrity cribs. That's how I would have thought. But now I'm just more like if I was to get a $10 million mansion, I'm renting that shit because the higher you go, and I learned that shit in real estate. When people know you got shit, they just want to sue for any fucking reason. Niggas is fall on your line and break their goddamn leg. Like, oh, I'm falling in, I can't get up. Get your ass the fuck up, because what you doing on this line in the first place is shit like that. And people know you got shit. They just want some shit and they want it the easiest way. Me personally, compared to everything that I've been through, I feel like trading is the easiest way to get it. But what's not easy is becoming the person you need to become. So I said that back in the day. Here I am now. I would much rather rent a $10 million mansion than buy it straight out, because buying it straight out is a liability and it stalls the money. Because let me tell you something. When I invested in those single family homes, 4 years later, all them houses is still a motherfucking loss. It's all a loss. My whole perspective on how I want to move forward from here on out has changed because I'm not tying up that much fucking money in real estate no more. That shit don't make sense. That shit is old money. There's faster ways to get money. I'd rather park it in crypto because real estate is not fucking moving. And then it's going to come to a point to where we already in a period where people can't afford to buy homes, if that makes sense. So it's just like, what is that going to look like 5 to 10 years out? You got to be able to plan for the future and shit like that. In addition to it holding up all that money, it's a liability. But they're like, oh, if you rent it, then you're just paying somebody else's mortgage. Yeah, but at the same time, it's a tax write-off also. You know what I'm talking about? So it's just like I'm really getting to live for free. I ain't gotta worry about property taxes going up. I ain't gotta worry about nobody suing me for no motherfucking reason. I ain't gotta look, I ain't gotta go to court if they sue me for no motherfucking reason because I don't have shit for them to take. So even though they see a big ass $10 million crib, you know what I'm talking about? That bitch will be rented. It's the only thing that makes sense at this level now. But if I would have had this conversation long ass time ago with myself, I wouldn't have understood it. Like this conversation probably going over some of y'all's heads. It might go over your head right now for a little bit, but in a few months, in a few years, in a few centuries, if it take that long, you gonna understand what I'm saying. If it becomes a fucking liability, those single family homes was the biggest liability I had. Tenants not paying motherfucking rent, remodel two houses in fucking in 60 days, pay out of pocket for all that shit, do everything right, and then oh, bomb drop, nuke dropped on your head. You can't cash out refinance none of these motherfuckers. Oh, okay, I'm finna get ready to buy 10 houses this year. I'm just happy that I didn't buy 10 houses this year. I'm happy that I bought two. I got fucked over on two, but guess what? My psychology has changed. I got fucked over on two, but at least I didn't get fucked over on 10, so that means I got saved by eight. That's what I'm talking about. I'm crazy though. I tricked myself into success. I'm harder on myself than anybody ever would be. So with people, I guess I could be a little harsh, but I grew up in a tough love environment, if that makes sense. So it's just like sometimes I bump my head a couple times before I figure it all out, but I'm willing to keep going every single time, and that is going to be the difference. That's who you need to be. You can't be nobody that just accept failure, if that makes sense. You can't be nobody that's not willing to learn. You can't be nobody that's not willing to shit learn from somebody else or just be like just hard headed. You know what I'm talking about? Like little motherfucking knucklehead. You can't be that. And people will say that's me, him. You just said that you're not compromising. You don't listen to nobody because I already did all that work. And this is what you gotta understand. I'm not listening to people in this market unless they got the result that I need. I already work with whoever in my circle. You know what I'm talking about? I got millionaire trader friends all over the world, but it's not trading anymore that I'm working on. It's other parts of myself. It's the body, it's the mind, it's the soul. You know what I'm talking about? It's the spirit. It's about being able to give people grace. I guess I'm not the best at that. I could say that, but it's I've already been a person that's good at self-correcting, being able to regulate self, if that makes sense. You got to be able to regulate self as a trader. You got to be able to have some kind of solitude as a trader. But in the beginning, what steps do you have to take to do that, if that makes sense? And that's the part nobody is articulating. But it's just like, I don't know. It's been so long since I was a new trader. I can say there's parts along the journey that I forget. I'm aware of that. Sometimes I forget shit and my memory gotta be triggered. It's been damn near a decade. But at the same time, this is my first go around getting on YouTube, being able to articulate myself in front of an audience. Um, Understanding that, yeah, my thoughts do matter in this world, but I used to be really selfish about it because I was keeping a family secret and shit. Now it's like it don't fucking matter no more. But then it's just like, even back in the day, my mom, undiagnosed schizophrenic, and you gotta understand, I never knew why. So not knowing why in life and not knowing why in the market, shit, not knowing why in the market is way fucking easier than not knowing in life because, like, God, I do everything right. That's how I've always felt. I've always done everything right. I'm a nuck and buck too, for sure. I'm gonna make this shit terrible. I'm gonna take it to 1,000 if that's the level we gotta take it to. But I get out of situations. I'm not a criminal. I don't have no criminal record. I don't be doing shit to people. I be at the crib free every fucking day. I live in the suburbs. I have 6 dogs. I got an 8-year-old that love hanging out with me. That kid love hanging out with me. Love her too, but mommy want free time too sometimes. But it's just like even my daughter, how she is now, is how I think I would have been without the trauma. You know what I'm talking about? I had to grow up fast. But I don't mind the switch. I don't mind growing up fast, seeing how she came out, so she didn't have to be the person that had to grow up fast, if that makes sense. So it's just like as long as I'm able to articulate that, her mindset always gonna be good. But she my kid. She lucky enough, and I'm lucky enough to have her as my kid. You guys, I gotta be able to articulate to you guys, but you guys don't get to see me 24/7 like she get to see me 24/7. But I see the difference. I understand everybody's perspective. I understand what I got to work on, but me working on YouTube is going to be different than you learning how to trade because I learned how to trade down there a decade ago, if that makes sense. But then it's like certain trials and tribulations on YouTube of I'm finally understanding YouTube is like a compound too of all the shorts got to connect together because you got to leave people on the page so that they can continue to understand your perspective so that you don't get lost in the sauce and they don't get lost in the sauce. I understand that some of the shorts, if it's just a short channel, then they connect together. But if it's a channel with shorts and with long form video content, it's going to be connecting the shorts to the long form content that they relate to so that people can understand the compound that want to understand the compound. It's just an automation tool. Everything is an automated compounding tool, everything. So it comes back to people, leaders, me. I gotta be able to articulate. They gotta be able to articulate. And I can say I was part of the problem too back in the day, but I didn't have the level of growth that I have now years ago on understanding that I need to be able to articulate to that to you guys because I assume that everybody got, the same mindset as me, but I had to go through a different kind of fire to acquire that mindset. Like I said, understanding why has never been a thing in my life, so not understanding why in the market. Understanding why happens hindsight 2020. It don't happen before. God, my mama crazy as shit, and then her daddy a fucking crackhead, and he got amazing parents with a strong foundation that love their kids no matter what. Unconditional love. You're gonna learn that unconditional love, that's something that you only get from parents. You get that from parents, and after it's gone, after your parents gone, you're not gonna get that nowhere else. You know what I'm talking about? Everything else come with conditions. Other niggas come with conditions. Friends, other family members, extended family members. Nobody give a fuck when you're an adult. But it's like, how do you become who you need to become if you never wanted to break away from the status quo because you was worried about who liked it, who didn't like it? Hey, success ain't about who like it, who don't like it. It's about the eyes that's on you. Niggas that hate me watch me all the time and it don't fucking matter. Look, enjoy the motherfucking show because I got a lot of shit to show you. That's where I'm able to articulate. And I didn't understand before, but I understand now. So let me fix it so that I can help you guys do better. Whether you come to me or not, it don't matter. Because at the same time, my mindset is it's not about sign-ups. At this point, it's a contract with God. He not gonna show me nothing that I can't do. I done already had a friend turn 300 million in my fucking face. God, you gonna let that nigga turn 300 million in my face? You gonna let me hit that? You want me to work on da before I get there? Okay. Okay, but some of these people don't fucking deserve it. Do it anyway? All right, fine. I'm still getting 300 million. I clapped these markets. Y'all see. But I didn't have the right foundation in order to help you guys and continue to clap these markets. So every time I would blow an account over the last, say, period of this account challenge, bro, I don't know what people be thinking I'm doing, but I work hard. So it's like something don't work, and I'm building a motherfucking Titanic. I'm like, all right, well, let me hit all the buttons. What the fuck going on? Something not in place. Oh, okay. I need a scanner for the website. Let me add a scanner to the website. I need a live P&L for the challenge. Let me add a live P&L for the challenge. So it's like until it sounds like a well-oiled machine. That's how my brain works. Something is broken. Go fix it. This account didn't go. Something is broken still in the system. Go fix it. And then everything run. I've never had a losing year. So even to me, you know how I said in other videos that like everything is a first at some point. COVID was a first for me as a trader trading. I would have known how to articulate myself in that market, and that was the shit. That was my first year off of becoming a millionaire, so I'm not even understanding how long the money gonna last. I'm thinking back in the day that shit happened on accident too, but it's just like everything is a first, and then it starts as a first, and you start understanding in the compound everything is related to one another, right? That's what that's what I'm saying. So I'll leave it at that. I know it's a lot of information, but I'm fixing it because I used to just think that let me let you be you, and because there's a lot of different ways to trade and be profitable. Yes, there is. I agree. There's a lot of different ways to trade and be profitable. You don't have to trade like me in order to be profitable. But if I'm making the most profit and you want to do that, you want to do what the results look like on the website, especially this next site. This next site crazy. I don't even know what to say. I'm not even finna be humble about that. We worked hard on this shit. But if you want this result, this is what you got to do. And I'm not compromising no more. Like I've had solitude, but I think I haven't led the way before like I am now because I was trying to be nice and considerate of everybody is not the same person. But now it's not a level of me trying to understand you no more. I'm way past that. If you come to me, I'm assuming you want to trade like me. I'm not here to understand you. You need to understand me or this shit not gonna work. That's what it is now. Because the results at the end of the day will talk more than I ever could. The only thing I gotta talk about is bringing you back to God because I could clap these markets, but all grace to God. My childhood was crazy. I've been through a lot of crazy shit. And it all come back down to there's a lot of situations, especially in the last year, that I probably wouldn't have been here to talk to you guys about if it wasn't for him. But in that same aspect, it's me realizing that everyone can't be saved, and I shouldn't put myself in the situation to where I let people burden me, if that makes sense. I got some niggas that'll hit me up just to ask for something. I just block somebody today for that shit. I ain't even say nothing block because I'm starting to realize that pattern. Some people ain't here to pour in. Some people just here to add shit on top, on pressure. They're oh she's successful. Da, da, da. All right, but my mama running in traffic top of the year. Where the fuck was you? Now you sending me fundraisers and shit, asking me to do all this shit. Where the fuck was you when I was going through this time period? I've been saving the world for fucking 10 years. That's the mindset. That's what I'm talking about. So I can help you if nothing else. If you don't want to sign up, you ain't gotta sign up. It's not about that. It's about I'm gonna get it no matter what. This is my test to God, and this is who you need to be, whether you find out when I'm saying it today or whether you find out in 5 fucking years that I was always right, because it always fucking happens that way. It always happens that way. I have confidence enough to know that I'm so right you coming back. And that's what it come down to. So, oh, let me show you this challenge account real quick. Let me see where we at. Make sure I'm not blowing my shit while I'm over here talking. Ooh, we not. All right. So, yeah. Oh wait, I'm trying to wait for it to come on, bro. Oh, there it is. $42 account at the highest. We saw it at I saw it at 130. It was for sure higher. For sure higher. I just don't know how high I was asleep. At least another 40 higher because of oil. Um, yeah, when I woke up, that shit was like down here. Yeah, that's what it was. When I woke up, it was down here or down here, but it had popped up to here, and I didn't see that. But we floating 100 on the $42 account. We're gonna swing it out. Which other one were we in? Oh, we was in silver. It just dove off a fucking cliff. Can't do nothing about it. But I use the brokers as a tool. So even though I'm sleeping, because of the equity on my account, they're gonna just take the bad positions if it can't hold it. If the account can't hold those bad positions, it's gonna take it. That's why. I'm gonna show you who you need to become. Like everyone be trying to show you these big ass moves in the market. They show you all this, right? Why the fuck they not showing you who you need to be to catch the whole thing like that without you having to be in the market every day? That's what I'm here to show you. And I'm not compromising. I already said it. I'm just showing you because I do this. 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 Everybody else want to do this. I don't want to do that. That's little shit. It take the same amount of time to make a lot of money as to do a little bit of money. And every single time, every fucking single time, it becomes, oh, coulda, woulda, shoulda, but didn't. It's been years, a decade of coulda, woulda, shoulda, but didn't. But everybody got an opinion. But some of them, only some of them are profitable. That's what I'm talking about. So always good talking to y'all. I hope y'all learned some. But I'm just gonna lead the way, and I'm not taking no for an answer because I didn't overcame so much. But y'all just gonna learn as the more I speak, the more that I'm able to explain myself to you guys, the more you're gonna understand me, the easier it's going to be, I guess, for us to get along. It's gonna be less chaotic, and then the easier it is gonna be for you to become your own profitable trader, I guess, because at the end of the day, it's not about flash shit, it's about foundation, it's about stability. I'm home all the time. I homeschool. My kid love it. When I was a kid, I was trying to get the fuck away from the house. I was at the gym. I was working two jobs. I didn't want to be there. I didn't even remember fucking middle school and high school like that. I was trying to get the fuck on. You know what I'm talking about? And then as soon as the day I walked the stage is the day I got my first apartment. I wasn't even finna walk across the stage. I was just glad to be the fuck on. A few months later, my sister started living with me, both of them. So I could teach you some shit because my life is different. That's why I'm not compromising because y'all didn't know my life was different. I'm just not able to explain my life was fucking different.